Hello, my name is Michelle and today I'm going to talk about my wrap-up for March and April. The first book that I read is Anna Dressed in Blood, which is about this boy, Cass, who is a ghost hunter, and he needs to kill Anna, who is a ghost, and everyone who enters her home gets killed by her, and Cass needs to stop that. So when he enters her house, he's like the only person who gets away alive, which is special. And then, well, the story continues, of course. What did I think about this book? I found it refreshing to hear about ghosts. I thought it was going to be like a horror story. I was afraid it was going to be a horror story, but it turned out not to be. I liked it, but not. It's. I enjoyed it, but it's not high quality. I definitely want to read the next book because this is a duology, but it won't be soon. It isn't like above my TBR list. So sometimes I'm going to read the second book. I like that there is a person, a girl, who is like the super popular girl who who is becoming friends with Cass, and then she isn't that, well, the bitch you expect her to be. And then there are other characters you thought, oh, that's such a nerd, and he seems to be like such a douche. This book isn't what it is expected to be, and the ending is very, well, abrupt. It's just like, bang, it's over. There wasn't like, oh yeah, now it's going to end in a few pages, I feel it coming. No, I didn't feel it coming, and that's why I think that's why I want to read the second book, only because of that. But it really wasn't a bad book, but it wasn't special. And the second book that I read is a very special one because I finally finished the Harry Potter series for the first time. So I read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Yeah, of course, perfection. There's nothing more that I can say. The third book I read is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It was recommended to me by a friend, well, several friends actually, and of course the BookTube. I really wasn't expecting that I was going to like it this much, because I don't like girl fighters kind of thing. I thought it was going to be way more manly than it was. By the way, Team Colt, or how do you pronounce his name? I don't know, but I'm on his side, okay? I really enjoyed the book. It was fast-paced. I liked that there were like some kind of symbols. They had like a special meaning. And then, yeah, I like Princess Nehemiah. She is, well, high society, but she acts cool with Zelena. I did like the world building as well. I liked the writing in general. My friend thought it was weird. She found that sometimes it was talking in first person and then switching to third person. I didn't run into that problem. I didn't really notice it. Although it had my full attention, the story, I just didn't notice the differences. I knew who was talking to who, and so I didn't have any problems with that. But great book, and you should all read it. Once again, I want to continue the series, but I don't think it will be for now, because I can't marathon series, but I'm reading other series at the moment as well, and I don't like it when there is too much time between two books either. So I can't marathon, but I can't keep them far away too, so it's, yeah, I'm kind of weird. So the next book is like my favorite book of this year already, and it's The Book Thief, and by Markus Zusak, and I like this cover a lot. I know it's the film edition, but yeah, I like this one better, I'm sorry. What is this book about? It's about a girl in, well, the time when World War II is, well, already busy, I think, and she is going to be, well, taken care of by another family, and she loses her brother because he dies on the train on their way to that new family. And she steals a book. That's the first book she steals, and then they will follow up. Other books will follow up in that list of books that she steals. The cool thing is that it's told by Death. So, well, Death has a lot of work while World War II, and he tells her story because she has written it all, her story all down in a little notebook, and he finds that. And the cool thing about this book is that there are pictures inside of it drawn, and every it's divided in pieces, parts, but and also in chapters, of course. But the parts talk about each book that our little Liesel, that girl, has stolen in that part. The writing is like, it's awesome. The characters, they are so adorable. At first you don't like those characters, but then you fall in love with them, actually. And I usually don't like war literature, but this one is so nicely described. Well, it really is my favorite, and I think I gave it like 5 stars because it really is my favorite of this year. The 5th book that I read is The Wedding Beat by Devin Ziffer. It's about a guy who writes wedding columns for a newspaper, and one day he falls in love with someone, and then all of a sudden he needs to write a column about her wedding. So that's the, you know, a problem. I didn't like this book. I had to give it 3 times until I really got into the book. I really didn't like it that, well, the back said it was about he falling in love with one of the brides, and then that all happened in the end of the book, which was like a long introduction to like the real story. I really didn't like it. It was slow paced. It was a small book though, but I didn't like it. as much as I thought I would. Next up is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series, City of Ashes. I almost read City of Glass before that. What would have been a huge spoiler, but I really enjoyed this book as much as the first book. I think I did like it even more. But the first book got me to buying all the physical copies of Cassandra Clare's books, except the Bane Chronicles. I kept that aside for later on if I really was fangirling. But I bought all the 6 books of the Mortal Instruments and 2 books of the Infernal Devices. Why 2 books? Because the bookstore didn't have 1 out of the 3. So I'll have to wait for that. But I have until City of Glass, and then I can start the Infernal Devices, because that's the way you should read the books according to Cassandra Clare. First you read the first 3 books of the Mortal Instruments, and then you start Infernal Devices, and then you finish those, and then you continue with the rest of the Mortal Instruments. Which I think is pretty weird, but apparently there's a book, the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments, that would be a huge spoiler for the Infernal Devices. And then I understand why you shouldn't read the 4th book first. Jace was funny, of course, but I was really expecting that they would get together and just be over with it. But then there was Simon, and I was just like, no, Simon, don't ruin this for me. But yeah, it did. And really at the end, how emotional can an epilogue be? I was like, no. But I'm not going to spoil anything. And well, yeah, I'm definitely going to continue the Mortal Instruments, obviously, because I bought all the physical books. And the last book that I have read is The Titan's Curse, which is the 3rd book in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Well, what I like about these series is that those are short, but they are so light, they get you out of the reading slump directly. Because after City of Ashes I was still thinking about the book, that I wasn't feeling like reading a new book, you know? And then I thought, oh, why don't I continue with the Percy Jackson series? And it's like every book is so funny and so fast-paced and adventurous that you get out of that reading slump and you would like to continue on and on and on with reading. And well, this time you actually, in the book, you actually met all the Olympians except for 1, I guess. I think you haven't, well, we haven't met Hera yet. But I think that will follow up pretty soon. Because I read the 3rd book, there are only 5 books, I think we should meet her already. But yeah, fast-paced, adventurous and so on. I really enjoyed this book. Now I would like to talk about the book that I'm currently reading, but it's almost finished and I'm so glad. Because I am reading Beautiful Redemption. Yeah, this is the Dutch cover. I was putting off this book for way too long because I actually don't remember what Beautiful Chaos was about. Only that, well, something happened with Ethan and I really wanted that Ethan was going to die. and I'm sorry to tell you this, but well, I really got to dislike this series because they are so slow paced and stuff, and Ethan and Lena are so sticky, and I don't like that. So I was putting off this book way too long, but then I said, it's on my shelf for so long, I need to read this now, so I can be over with it. And then my friend said, why don't you just quit that series? And then I said, I'm not a quitter. Because I'm not. Because I always want to know how a story ends. And for now, I'm at page 250 out of the 318 or something. So yeah, I'm almost there. I think tonight it will be over and done with. But I do need to say that the fourth book is, for me, the best book in the complete series, because something actually is happening. And I think I know where this is leading, because with 2 and 3 I really didn't know where it was going. So I think that's it. I read 7 books, and this is the 8th book that will be finished before April ends. So I think I did a good job, because previously, January and February, I think I read the same amount of books. So, hey, woohoo! Thank you for watching though, and I will see you with another video. I don't know when, but I will see you again.